What's going on, guys? Today's going to be a pretty short waiver wire video. What's up, Clan? We're going to be talking about the waiver wire pickups for week 8. And if you guys have any you want to toss out after I read off the list of most likely available players to be picked up, I think let's start off with Chase Edmonds. I mean, believe it or not, what's up, Clan? What's up, Elijah? Believe it or not, Edmonds is available in roughly 80% of leagues, which is kind of crazy and head scratching. But I don't know if that would be your most competitive leagues. What's up, Nolan? I'm going to do a little bit of Q&A after I do the waiver wire. So save your breath on asking questions real quick, guys. What's up, Big Timer? What's up, Tim? I'm just going to read off these and I'll get into a little bit of Q&A. A lot of people have Edmonds on their bench, Cameron. Don't feel bad about that. But Edmonds is available in roughly 50% of leagues, which is crazy, a crazy stat. Now let's get something out there. Let me get something off my chest. I guess I'll sidetrack real quickly. I'm good at that. I swore I was going to do waiver wire only to start the show, but it's a lot of advice dished out by a lot of fantasy football analysts, me included, that were fed information, as we all were, on news wires by the Arizona Cardinals that was not really upfront and honest with the status and health of David Johnson. Now, this is a big problem because first initial reaction was, hey, guys, he did get a carry, right? Maybe he had some kind of setback. And maybe, this wasn't about being dishonest. It was about, hey, he didn't feel right. They thought he was going to go. As soon as he got into the game mode, he had to. But reports from a lot of people within the organization, from Chase Edmonds himself, reflect that the Cardinals knew that David Johnson was not going to be utilized in this game. And while you'll get a coach, especially an old school coach, or even some old school players, or some non-fantasy football playing person to sit there and tell you, it's not about you, bro. They don't care about your fantasy game. That's not true. And the reason it's not true, or that they should care, is because a big percentage of fantasy football or of NFL viewership comes from the fantasy football avenue now. The fantasy football pipeline feeds it, funnels in millions and millions of viewers into the NFL, into the viewership of the NFL. And it is very important that Vegas, that fantasy worlds do have accurate team and injury information because we plan around that. It makes people, lose money when they're not upfront and forthright with all the information. So you're going to hear a lot of people, I think, come out and say nobody cares about your fantasy team. You think Cliff thinks that what matters in your fantasy team matters to him or the real game? We are a part of the NFL viewership as much as any population of people. And so if you do want to drive away a big chunk of people, then yeah, ignore fantasy football worlds by all means. See how far that gets you. So I do have a problem with the way this went down. Now, my disclaimer is that I own. You guys are saying that the video is lagging, a little laggy. Can you hear me still? I don't know what's going on. But I will say that I have disclaimer time. I have zero ownership in David Johnson. I have zero. I do 14 leagues, probably more than anybody you know. And I 14 leagues, and I own David Johnson in 0 leagues. I have 0% ownership in David Johnson. This is coming from, uh, you guys and my fan base and the followers and how I report I report information to you. I relay stuff to you. I give you my advice on whether you should start Edmonds, bench him, whether you should start DJ or not. And that affects how you guys perform in your fantasy football worlds. So, yeah, I think Seclan says the Cardinals pretty much slapped all the fantasy football players in the face. Yeah, and they're not real worried about it. And that's the problem I have. And the part that makes me really upset is that this old, no one cares about your fantasy team. That should not be true. Maybe it is true to a lot of people still in the NFL. Maybe it's true to a lot of coaches, but it shouldn't be because again, we make up a ton of your viewership and you should take it more seriously. And it's just it's a shame. So I'm going to get into the waiver wire pickups for week 8. Make sure Chase Edmonds is not available in your league. 150 yards, 3 TDs. We don't know the status of David Johnson heading into the next game. Chase Edmonds in a press conference said that they knew, he and DJ, everybody essentially paraphrasing for him, but essentially saying that they knew that he wouldn't be able to perform anywhere close. Like, it was impossible for him to perform at the level he would need to play in an NFL game. And so that tells us that he was far from being ready to carry the load. Now, could that change in a week? That's Chase Edmonds' definition. We don't know what that really means or how long DJ could be out of starter carry, usage. But Edmonds, for the moment, would probably be, I'd say, flex worthy easily, even if DJ's reported to get a majority of the work or even way over 50%. Edmonds has earned the work, man. At this point, Edmonds is a must start, at least in your flex spot, probably in your running back 2 spot, even if DJ's limited. And if DJ's not in there, he's a running back 1. Plain and simple. Adapt and adjust. Guess what? We're looking at a running back 1. It happens. They emerge fast sometimes. And his dynasty appeal, I don't know what to make of it at this point. The flavor of the week says private. It could be. He could be, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think that he has the potential. I'm not going to go out and say this is a new dynasty gem and he's going to be a top 5 running back for years to come. No, we don't know what the plan is for him in the future. We don't know what the plan is for him in double-digit weeks when we get to weeks 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We don't know what they're going to be doing. They might be using only DJ. DJ might be out for the year with another injury. We don't know. All I know is that right now, no matter what, Edmonds needs to be locked into a flex role for you and probably playing like a running back too, even when DJ's back and kind of trying to get his, workload back slowly because they'll probably ease him into it. But make no mistake about it, Edmonds has carved out a role. Unfortunately for DJ owners, he's carved out a big role. And I think at the very least, we're looking at a guy that's going to get flex numbers all year. So if you have Chase Edmonds, congratulations. And if you don't, he's available in your waiver wire. This is the one pickup where you blow your entire load on that one player. You've been saving up all your dollars. As long as you can pick up a guy for free at some point during the year, or the week. So let's say blind waivers go through. And then Cameron says Genius is right. Man, if you own Edmonds, I own Edmonds in 2 or 3 leagues. I didn't play him in 1 league, and I played him in, I believe, so I own him in 3 leagues. I played him in 2 leagues, and I sat him in 1 league. I believe that's correct. I might have played him in all 3. I got to check. But I was struggling badly at my flex spot in those leagues because I had lost Kamara. I own Kamara in a lot of leagues. So Kamara left me hanging this week. Then we had the bye week. I was hurting in like 90% of my leagues at the flex spot this week, and my wide receiver too. I was hurting bad all over, and my quarterback in like 30, 40% of my leagues because I own Pat Mahomes in literally like 30 or 40% of my leagues, and I do 14. So this is a struggle for me this week. I did fairly well, and I had some losses this week. I expected that, but I was looking at like, man, this is going to be the week where I lose every game. I have Kamara out in over 50, 60% of my leagues. I have Mahomes out in 30 to maybe 40, but at least 30, 35% of my leagues. It was a rough week, especially in the leagues where I had Kamara and Mahomes. And that's in the Throne League. I have Kamara and we have Kamara and Mahomes in the Throne League. So rough week, but I did start Edmonds, I believe in two, maybe all three of them, and he saved me. So he's a flex guy moving forward at the very least. Other guys to pick up, guys, are Mark Walton, Miami running back, 66 yards on 14 carries. I don't know what to make of him, but a potential starting running back is a potential starting running back. So you need to go ahead and pick him up. Make sure he's not available if you need a running back. Kenny Stills is a good player to pick up. 100 yards. He's proven pretty consistent in the past in fantasy, so don't think for a second that he could not deliver flex type role or bye week fill in type material. He can, especially in that offense in Houston. Ty Johnson needs to be picked up in all leagues. So in very, very experienced leagues, you're not going to have Edmonds available. He's available in 50% of all leagues, but we're talking about lumping in a lot of the novice leagues out there on Yahoo. And you guys are better than that. You guys are advanced. I would say my community is legit. Probably more like 30 or 20% of leagues Edmonds is available, I'd imagine. If Edmonds is available in your league, comment below. I want to see how many people can confirm, and if he's not available, put that in here as well. I want to see how many people out of like 15 right now. So just post that. In a legit community with diehard fantasy football people, I want to see how many leagues have Edmonds available so we can get a real count of what we're looking at. Parker says available. Focus not available. He's available in my 10. Gone in all my leagues. Added him a few days ago, so gone. Edmonds is not available. We're looking at, I think, majority or a little bit over 60%, if I had to guess. I'm not adding it up or tallying it up, but just picked him up today. Edmonds, wow, what a day. Sell A-Rob, maybe. A-Rob's playing good, though. Picked him up last week. Gone in two leagues. Not available. Yes, he is. I'm number 2 on the waiver wire. I don't think you'll get him, Marcus. Available. Got him in all leagues. He's gone in all 6 of your leagues. So I'd say closer to 50% than I thought, but I'd say he's only available in about 40-ish percent in our community. So we're definitely ahead of the average, group of fantasy football players. But that did prove my point a little bit, but I actually thought it was going to be more like 25, 30, but it was about 40-ish. I don't know. So Ty Johnson after Edmonds might be the number 1 pickup for week 8 because Kerryon Johnson was on the sideline, left the game with a knee injury, was on the sideline with a brace. Doesn't look like he's going to be available in the next game for the Lions. So that means Ty Johnson's now needing to be grabbed. And I think he's available in a ton of leagues. So I don't know how much he'll help you. Hopefully he does, but Ty Johnson needs to be grabbed immediately because he could be the starting running back for the next game or so for the Lions. Then we got Mark Walden, we got Stills, we got Matt Moore. If you need a quarterback, he's the new quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs until further notice, and that's a high-octane offense. Is Ty Johnson good? He's pretty good. I wouldn't call him like an elite talent yet. I mean, anything can happen. We haven't seen him play at the NFL level enough to know that, guys can come out of college and not necessarily fit the bill yet, and then they develop. It happens all the time. I mean, look at Pat Mahomes. I love Pat Mahomes, but when he was drafted, a lot of people didn't see him ever becoming as good as he's become. Now, quarterbacks more so than anything. Look at Tom Brady. When Tom Brady was drafted, clearly the NFL didn't see Tom Brady coming. You see this with quarterbacks more than any position, but don't write a guy off just because we didn't see him coming from the college level. It's weird how that can happen at times. Even Priest Holmes. Look at Priest Holmes, how good he became. So situation, how you mature, a lot of it can depend. Picked up Edmonds and started him this week. Good job, Jake. So Darrell Henderson, very disappointing this week. Super disappointing. I mean, he had a decent amount of carries, and he did okay. He didn't do horrible, but he had like 3.6 yards per carry. Not great. They weren't all quality carries, I would call them. But at least he's getting used, and they're utilizing him. But I definitely wished he had like a touchdown and like 60, 70 yards and had a lot of momentum going into this week. Marvin Jones went off, man. So Darrell Henderson should still be rostered if he's available. Still scoop him up because, assuming you have a spot to burn, he still could get relevant. It just might take longer. I'm not writing him off yet. There's a lot of opportunity for him. Malcolm Brown and Todd Gurley both had trouble staying healthy. Devontae Parker, I don't know that I'm going to mess around with too much, but if you need a wide receiver. So Matt Moore, I talked about, then the starting QB for the Chiefs until Mahomes comes back. Tannehill for Tennessee. I'm not going to mess around too much with him. Yeah, sell Marvin Jones if you can, but don't sell him low, but sell him high. Cole Beasley, the Bills, is worth rostering as a wide receiver for at this point. A bye week filler, a guy you play when you have injured wide receivers. Why not? Zach Pascal, wide receiver for the Colts, looks okay. And literally, if you guys have any others you want to toss out, let's talk about them. Did I miss anybody that you think should be talked about that is on waivers in your league? And I'm not grasping that this guy's available more than I thought. Toss out a name, and then I'll do a quick Q&A. This won't be a long show tonight, but I wanted to get on here and talk about the waiver wire ads for week 8 and then do a little Q&A. Jacoby Myers, yeah, we'll see how he does in his game coming up. I'd keep Eckler in full PPR, obviously answering a question. Benny Snell, grab him. That's a good one. He was kind of a grab last week, but you're right. He probably should still remain on there. I'll add him to sleeperu.com in that article that I wrote, that I posted tonight. Yeah, David Montgomery. I still believe the talent's there, but that offense is bad. Everything's bad. The play calling, the types of carries he gets. I'm not defending anything at this point. His situation is part of him, and you can't separate it. Is Damian not startable? Not right now. And Eckler, for you guys talking about Eckler is so involved in that receiving game, you have to keep him in there. Is benching Montgomery for Edmonds in my flex until, yeah, of course you put in Edmonds at this point. You have to. Things change quickly in fantasy football. You adapt or you die. So no one can hold on to their favorite players. You can't hold on to that crap. You got to say, look, I mean, as much as I love his talent, I'm wrong about David Montgomery. Until David Montgomery proves me my old stance right, I was wrong. And that's it. Let's move on. I'm not going at anyone in here. I'm saying in general to myself, even in the mirror, let's move on and hope that, I'm not cutting him. He's definitely, if he was on waivers, I'd pick him up. But until further notice, man, the dude's going on the bench. Edmonds gets San Fran twice coming up. That's rough. I'm never drafting a Bears player ever again, Sissa Clan. I don't blame you. David Johnson for Tyreek Hill and Tevin Coleman. No, I mean, I still don't do that. But I like T.Y. a lot. Should I drop Damian Williams? Depends on who you can pick up. Lit. Always depends on who you can pick up. Bears don't run the ball at all. I don't get why. I mean, the whole team would play better. Their defense would be able to continue to be that defense everybody's scared of if they ran the ball and just ran the ball. Just gave David Montgomery 120 yards a game and a touchdown and had Cohen all over the field too and ran the ball enough. That whole team would function better. They would score more. They would win. They would be like the Saints. They'd be winning games and people are like, God, they're doing great. Or San Fran. We're winning games because of our defense. We don't even need to score 9-0. What are you, crazy? Ran the ball 9 times. Is that the real stat? I didn't know the real stat. I'm so immersed in all this other stuff. I hadn't checked out those numbers. Bears passed the ball 51 times and ran the ball 9 times. Really, Siklan? That is crazy. DJ for Juju and Melvin Gordon. What's Melvin Gordon gonna do? What a disappointment he's been. I traded Melvin Gordon for Patrick Mahomes. I like that. I think, one good deal. I gave someone some advice today that I think's really cool, worth talking about. If you own two QBs, two elite QBs, you've got Aaron Rodgers and you got Lamar Jackson, or you got A-Rod and you got somebody else, whatever. You got two QBs, right? And you can't get rid of that QB for the life of you. Go after Pat Mahomes and mix things up. Trade Lamar or trade A-Rod, trade whoever, if you've got two elite QBs like that. I'm talking at that level, because there's a lot of people out there that still can't get rid of the other QB. They have Lamar and they have A-Rod. They have Lamar, they have Watson. It's a weird commonality that people have. But I had somebody email me today and they're like, Smitty, I can't get rid of Lamar. I don't know why. No one will trade me. And I said, why don't you go after Pat Mahomes with one of those QBs? Because someone will give you something for Pat Mahomes, or you hang on to him and you keep him. Cliff Lisbury, yeah. Thanks for the super chat, though, Siklan. And I've got another nickname for Cliff. Cliff Kingsbury, the real injury updates on David Johnson. Cliff Kingsbury, the info. So go trade for Pat Mahomes using your other QB, because the person that has Pat Mahomes will probably take Lamar. And then, Lisbury, the information. And then take Mahomes and trade Mahomes. If you can't get what you want out of Lamar Jackson, go get Mahomes with Lamar, and then trade Lamar for. Now the buy low window on Hopkins is gone, though. That sucks. Yeah, Cliff King's information barrier. I like that one too. It's a different variation off of what I said, but I love both. Is Rodgers the most valuable QB in fantasy? Fletcher, not after one game. I mean, I think he's right where I had him, top 3. That's where I've been touting Rodgers. He's top 3. Everyone's been jumping off the ship for weeks now, and he slumped before, and that's what I was kind of talking about. But he's right there at 3 to 4. Once Mahomes gets back, right now he might be 2 or 3. I think Watson's still number 1, but you could argue A-Rod. You could argue Lamar Jackson, but he's right where I had him. He's in my top 3. I traded A-Rod for Mahomes today. I have Josh Allen. I think it's okay if you can weather through everything, Cameron, and then you have the best quarterback in fantasy football once Mahomes returns. But yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about. If you have two QBs, but you don't have the other QB, but if you can weather through the injury and be fine, then I think you'll be okay. I dropped Edmonds. No, says Christopher. That's too bad. Dude, don't be so hard on yourself. You have to look at it like this. The way Arizona presented the information, it looked like Edmonds' reign of being relevant was maybe heading in the other direction. So don't be so hard on yourself. It looks so clear in 2020 vision. Dude, don't be hard on yourself. You wouldn't have known that if the Cardinals, if Cliff Barry the information king, or King the information barrier, or Cliff Kingsbury the information on David Johnson would have come forward and given us that accurate information, you would have known that Edmonds' reign it was going to go like that. And then straight up. You never know when he's going to miss another game. Exactly. I have Julio wondering the same. I worry about Julio, man, with Matt Ryan hurt. How bad? Is there an update as of the last hour or so of how bad the injury is, or are we still waiting until tomorrow? I think we're waiting until tomorrow, but man, that's horrible for Ridley and Julio. These are encyclopedias behind me on this shelf. I should have fantasy magazines for every year. that have been in the business all the way down to 2004. Yeah, I don't know what to say about the Falcons, man. Is Damian Williams droppable? Depends on for who. But yeah, we could have that conversation, believe me. Destroying fantasy values. Yep, Paul. Freeman screwed me. He screwed me too, Cameron, in one league. Trying to fight Donald. Ha ha. Yeah, that was such a dumb. First of all, why did they not both get ejected or something? That was ridiculous. Freeman got picked up. Yeah, Freeman got like picked up like Arnold was trying to hold him, above the ground by his neck, and he shoved him. That was dumb. You know, what was another dumb play is that that Deshaun Watson touchdown to Hopkins where the ref blew the whistle, called the play dead. DeAndre Hopkins would have had 2 TDs and 120 yards or whatever had that play not been whistled dead. That was BS by the ref. Total BS. I was so mad about that. I'd Hopkins, Watson scrambled, broke free, tossed another TD to Watkins and then or to Hopkins. Watson threw another TD to Hopkins. I keep fumbling my words around, and a standing sack. Yeah, while Watson's moving around is ridiculous. All right, guys, it won't be a long show. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and I'm jumping off. I wanted to give you guys a waiver wire topic tonight. And Smitty, would you do the trading away Keenan Allen, Mark Andrews, and Edmonds for Ty and Michael Thomas? Yeah, I go get Ty and Michael Thomas. I really would. I like that. Edmonds. I'm not saying Edmonds can't be elite the rest of the way, but unless DJ goes down, I don't know how he can be even remotely as valuable, like even close to as valuable as he was today. Like you're talking about, yeah, Mixon is unbearable. DJ should be back. I don't know that he'll be back for week 8 at a full capacity though, because according to Edmonds, and again, this is out of Edmonds' mouth, I mean, you need to interpret that, with a grain of salt, but that he was nowhere close to playing at a capacity that they needed him to play. Yeah, I mean Edmonds, I'm not gonna worry so much about his run schedule as much as will he get the carries. You know what I mean? You were wrong about Murray this week. He ran very hard. Yeah, he was a good play. I had a couple people ask me. Oh God, I think one of the questions was Lat Murray, or I got a lot of Lat Murray questions all week, and I don't know which ones I said. So, Clan, my 23rd birthday tomorrow. I'm going to be going to sushi and pool tomorrow. Awesome, Clan. Happy birthday. I wish I was 23, man. I think I'd give my left leg from the knee down to you right now. I'd cut it off on the live and hand it to you if you could make me 23 years old. 2 straight weeks, Bears defense got ran all over. I started Murray over Lev Bell. Yeah, so I was saying I got it. Oh, and I had another super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Mark, I thought Ertz would be better. I know. What the hell with Ertz? I mean, in the Throne League, we traded away Tom Brady and Dalvin Cook for Zeke Elliott and Zach Ertz because we had Pat Mahomes and we didn't need Brady. And then Pat Mahomes goes down. Zeke had a good game. Cook had a little bit better game. I still trust Zeke about as much as I trust Cook moving forward. So they're about even to me. I love Cook a little more, but I think long term, I worry a little bit, even though I love Cook, and I don't think tagging him as injury prone is fair, but I still worry a little bit. Thanks, Clan. Happy birthday, man. Predictions for Brady and Pat's D tomorrow. I think they go neck and neck trying to outscore each other. That's my prediction. Can I trade my fantasy defense to the Eagles since they have no defense? I hope, maybe, man. Who else would cut their leg off from the knee down to be Clan's age? Trade DJ for Bell, Jacobs, or Fournette. I take Bell, I guess. But man, that could change quick too. I'm 23 as well. So you probably wouldn't be cutting your leg off, Jake. Bold prediction, Jets will win. Offense. Lev Bell goes huge. Lev Bell could go huge. You're about to be 30, James. Would you cut your leg off for 7 years? That's the question. I gotta head to bed. Thank you, Cameron. Take it easy. I'm leaving too, guys. I appreciate all of you. I feel bad for making it a short show tonight, but I wanted to do a good 30 minutes. Give you guys some waiver wire stuff. ATT. Make sure you check out the video once it processes. You can comment in the comments, and I'll reply to your comments. But we talked about Chase Edmonds, and he's probably not available in leagues that we all do, because we're the cream of the crop fantasy communities, right? But he's available according to the stats 50% of leagues, so he's number one. And then we talked about Ty Johnson being one of the top pickups this week because Carry-On was wearing a knee brace, got hurt, left the game. So rewatch the video. This is a waiver wire video, so you'll see all that. Big Timer 39. I feel your pain right there, big man. All right, guys. Thank you. Catch you later. I don't know if I'll be doing a live tomorrow, but you can catch me for sure on Wednesday, for sure, probably Thursday, and definitely Saturday, definitely Sunday. I'm not sure about Monday and Tuesday what I'm going to be doing, if I'll be doing some videos and producing that content and releasing it, or doing a live. I'm not sure yet. Probably do a video Tuesday night, I imagine. Maybe I'll try and find a scooter somewhere.